Hey, welcome back. If you want to see how I got this purple and gold eye look, then just continue to keep watching. I start off with the Glow Recipe Watermelon Moisturizer and move on to the Haley's Face Primer. Squirt a little bit on the back of my hand and just apply it to my T-zone. I never put this all over my face. My T-zone is oily, so I just put it where I'm more oily. The outer part of my face is more dry, so I really don't put anything out there. But just going to rub this in the T-zone. Go in with the Stay Naked Urban Decay foundation. Dot that all over my face. And this is in the shade 20NN. It looks a little warm tone for me, but it's neutral, so it blends out to my skin tone. So, and that's a e.l.f. Retro Collection sponge that I got at Target, and it's super soft and bouncy. I'm just gonna pounce that all over into the skin. And this foundation kind of melts in the skin, so it doesn't take too much. Other foundations I have take a little bit more pouncing, but this one here kind of just melts into the skin. So put a little bit more on my cheeks for a little bit more coverage. And that's the Smashbox Concealer in the shade Fair Neutral. And just going to put that right under the eyes. Again, I never drag it out or do a triangle under my eyes because I have larger pores on the sides of my nose, and I notice when I put concealer there, it like emphasizes my texture in my pores, so not a good look for me. Just dabbing that out on the bridge of my nose and between my eyebrows and then under the eye. It looks like I pounce hard when I look back and go edit, but I really don't. I don't know why it looks like I'm pouncing my face so hard, but that sponge is super bouncy, so I'm really not pouncing the heck out of my face, even though it looks like it. And I think I do a little bit too much pouncing, but and I didn't show, but that's the and I forgot to show the setting powder, but that's the Too Faced Peach Perfect setting powder. And usually I just put that under my eyes because it's a little pink tone, but I just set my whole face with it today. And it actually looked pretty airbrushed, so. And it didn't look too pink, so I might start doing that. That's the L'Oreal Bronze Please. And this bronzer does have little flakes of like shimmer, no big glitters or anything, and it's actually pretty on the skin. So I usually don't use bronzers with any kind of shimmer. I like matte bronzers, but this one, the Bronze Please, you really can't, it looks like a sheen on your face. It doesn't even look like shimmer. It's really just a sheen, like of healthy skin. And this bronzer smells just like coconuts, like I'm going back to the Bahamas. So I do like this bronzer. I switch back and forth between that and the Milani Silk Bronzer. But the Milani Silk Bronzer is straight matte. And that's the Lorac Blush in the shade Tinge. Just dab that on the upper part of my face. I never put blush on my apples of the cheeks. That's the ColourPop highlighter. I think it was limited edition. It's called Horse and Carriage. Just apply that to the cheekbones, temples, a little bit above my eyebrow. It really wasn't giving me the glow that I wanted, so I switched to the Ofra All of the Lights palette in the two lightest shades. The one from ColourPop is good if you want a natural look, but it's not what I was going for. I wanted to glow that day, so we had to switch it up. Put a little bit on the brow bone, some more on the top of my cheekbones. Actually, a lot more on the top of my cheekbones. And a little bit on my forehead, and again above on my brow, my cupid's bow. And this palette is from Hard Candy. It's Blushful Nudes palette, and I went in, there's no names on these eyeshadows, so I just show which one I used, but literally there's no name. So, but that first shade is like a light pink purple transitions shade, so went in with that first. And that's a big Sigma fluffy brush to just throw it on there. It wasn't precise. It's a really good blending brush. It is a little bigger than what I normally prefer, but when I want to throw it on there, it's the E35 tapered blending from Sigma. And it did a really good job, so no complaints. That's the Believe Beauty. I got this at Dollar General, $5. Going with that purple shade. That little brush is from Essence. I got it Ulta. And it's the angled crease brush. It was so stiff, I had to switch it. It really is not good at blending at all. So I'm gonna switch that out for another fluffier brush to do some blending. That one was a much better brush. It blended my eyeshadow perfectly. It was super soft. And it doesn't even have a name on it, but I know I got this from, I want to say Marshalls or TJ Maxx in a little brush set. But nevertheless, it's just a little fluffy blending brush, so that's an oldie but goodie. I used that dark purple shade, blending that all over into the crease on the outside of the eye. It's the Wild at Heart from BH Cosmetics, and that purple shade in there is so beautiful. That's what really amped up the look, was that purple there. Going back with that Hard Candy deeper purple shade, and we're gonna focus this just on the outer V and a little bit in, just brushing the excess all over in the crease, but more focused out in the V. Trying to get that purple to pop a little more. And this brush was super soft. I wish it had a name on it, but it doesn't. Sorry. That was a Jeffree Star I got off Ulta.com. And went in with that darker purple shade. It's the Jeffree Star number 13. It's just like a little taper brush. Good for under the eye. That same darker purple shade, we're just going to run that under the eye. To make it match the top of the eye. Back in with that transition shade and just blend the edges so nothing is harsh looking. Making sure everything is blended and smooth. Don't want any harsh looking makeup, especially on the eyes. We're going with the lightest shade in that palette and just under the brow bone, and that's just a concealer brush. Do the same thing with the other eye. And that is more of a sheen. It's like a matte sheen. There's no real shimmer to it. Take my MAC Prep and Prime spray in the watermelon and just set all those powders down. And then we're going to take that gold glitter that's in that same hard candy palette with my finger and put that on the lid. I never use a brush to put shimmers or glitters on my lid because I have so much fallout, but if you use your finger, I didn't have any fallout. So 9 out of 10 times I'm using my finger for any shimmer or glitter. You can also spray your brush with some Max Fix Plus or something, but I really don't. I'm just going back in with that first fluffy brush and then making sure everything is in place. Brushing through those brows. Never do too much. Take my Thrive Cosmetics mascara. Once again, I never use falsies on here in my channel. You'll never see that I use falsies. I don't own falsies. These are my natural eyelashes, so usually any mascara is pretty good, but this one doesn't flake nor smudge, so as of today it is my favorite. And you see the difference there. It looks like I have no lashes because they're blonde. Going to do the other eye, same thing, one full coat. And again, I said in the other video, this Thrive mascara, if you use 2 coats or even 2.5 coats, it starts to look super clumped up. You're gonna have like 5 lashes. So I try not to let it dry either, because I noticed if the more you let dry, the more clumpy it gets when you add. Looks pretty good. And then the other eye, a second coat. Notice, like, starting about right here, I noticed it starts to get just a little bit clumpy, but it doesn't bother me. I kind of like spidery lashes. I just don't want to have the 5 lash look. And I'm going to use the same mascara on the bottom lashes. And I just coat one coat with the bottom lash. Never go in with 2 really. Even the bottom lashes can look a little clumpy. Pretty good with the first coat. So on to the next eye. Same thing, coating the bottom lashes, same mascara, doesn't flake. You won't have those little spots all over your cheeks with some of these other mascaras. My favorite mascara from the drugstore is the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise. It's almost just as good as the Thrive Cosmetics. Almost. And we're taking that same Ofra highlighter that we used on the face, and I'm just highlighting the inners of my eyes. Make me look awake. Actually kind of opens up your eye also. And I'm just going to put a little bit of that on my brow bone. Feel like I needed some more glow. That first color we used in the hard candy palette was a matte sheen shade, so it really didn't do anything for me. I'm gonna line my lips with the NYX Suede matte lip liner in the color Sandstorm. It is a brown, but it's not a harsh brown. It's kind of like a pinky nude brown. We're gonna take some of that flower lip. I think this is a liquid lipstick by Flower, and it's Bare Honey. And then on top of that, same thing, liquid lipstick by Flower, but this one is called Almost Nude. Just gonna put that right in the middle since it's the same formula and dab it in. I hate when you get that inner part of your lip line, like you got on too nude of a lipstick. I cannot stand that, and this does not do that. So, and I took, that is a peachy nude Essence Shine 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 lip gloss, and that is in the color Let It Go. There's little silver flecks in here, but it's really not glitter, and you don't feel it on your lips. I'm going to finish off with setting spray, the Smashbox Photo Finish. Spray that all over my face, let it dry. Pounce it in, make sure there's no little spots. Sometimes setting sprays can leave like little spots on your face, so we're just making sure everything's flawless and airbrush looking. And there you have it. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video.